Hello, summer friends. Welcome to our second Friday. Just checking my schedule over here. Welcome to our second Friday in our summer slide forward into first grade. And this is Mr. Gallagher. The plans I have, again, remember from last week, Fridays I consider travel Fridays. Even though all the trips take you somewhere, the Friday trips I specifically chose because of their connection, reflection about travel. I know you travel to museums and zoos during the week, but there's just a different spin on the ones that I've collected for Fridays. And so today, the two places I have for you to choose from, both or all, are full ones. Last week, there were two, and the first one was about nature. Remember, you could choose any one or all of them from 1 up to 11 in nature. And the first choice I have on the plan sheet for you today is to visit many, or some, or just one, cities around the world. And the words in the plan sheet say, scroll down to visit cities around the world. I kind of thought as an opposite. Last week was nature. This week is cities. Last week was kind of no people impact in that area. Cities are big people impact of buildings and sidewalks and transportation systems and all those kind of things that make a city. I'm a person who, when I travel, I do tend to travel to cities. I travel less to nature places because I grew up in a big city, in New York City, with 8 million people, and so cities are my comfort zone, and so I tend to go to cities first when I travel. And so I thought this would be a nice opposite. Last week was nature, this week is cities. And you can scroll down to the big list, close your eyes and pick a city, or look for a city name you know, because you've heard of it, or you've been there, or you have friends or relatives who live there. And then you can travel the world by visiting those cities. That's the first one. The second one is I focused in on one city, the city of Paris, in the country of France, and especially the focus in this trip is to visit the Eiffel Tower, La Tour d'Eiffel, and that is the Eiffel Tower. If school had been open, if you're a Bryant student, in the My World in I lesson, where we all come together in laser in this conference room, and you choose your schedule, but you visit all the teachers, I always teach about the Eiffel Tower. Its history is really interesting. Yes, when it was first built for a World's Fair in Paris, what the local people thought about the tower was surprising to me. But I won't tell you about that today. So I hope you enjoy the visit to the Eiffel Tower. It's a beautiful place. I've had the good fortune of being able to visit there more than once. It's a beautiful structure in the middle of a beautiful city, in a beautiful park, with many, many people who come to see it. It's a very visited destination for visitors to Paris, to France, to Europe. Those are the two trips for today. Your story today for the I Know My Nation Read Aloud is George Washington, Our First President. And it's a story about some aspects of the life of George Washington, the first president of the United States of America. He was someone who grew up in comfort and wealth, and then was an important military leader in our nation at a time when we needed someone strong and competent and thinking and thoughtful and who worked for people other than himself. And he led our nation's military to victory in the War of Independence, or the Revolutionary War, and then became our first president of the United States of America. And this is a story about him. And of course, we are fortunate to live in the state of Washington, which was named after George Washington, and we are the only state of 50 that is named after a president. So there's a little bit of pride I feel about knowing I live in Washington, and that name is connected directly because it was named after George Washington, our first president. I hope you enjoy that and learn some new things about our nation and our president. Okay?